Welcome back to the Two Tone Podcast, episode number 37. I want to say appreciate everybody that's subscribed so far. We finally hit 50 subscribers the other day. I think we're at 52 or so right now. Anyway, whatever the number is, I appreciate all y'all for subscribing. If you're not subscribed, hit that button. It's a free way to show us you appreciate what we're doing. Anyways, my name is Jalen Kale. Alongside me, as always,
Theo Kale.
how you been, kid?
I've been doing,
Hell
living
yeah.
life.
Classic response. And super special guest on the Two Tone Podcast, Mason Foxlow. How's it going?
Great. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Glad to have you on. So, on the podcast, we kind of try and have creatives of all genres and avenues come on the pod. I haven't really talked to you since high school, but you come back into a little D&D friend group recently.
Yes, yeah, fucking D and O's. We're cool with swearing, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, surely, if you ask me, you're fine with swearing. But yeah, D&D is how we have started talking again recently. Cause yeah, I mean, like you said, probably high school.
I'm about to say, it's been forever. I think the last time I saw you was when I was like really trying to start selling all my clothes and stuff. I posted it on Instagram and you're like, I need that.
I
was
literally was about to say, I think the last time I saw you, I think I bought a shirt off you in the Von Mar parking lot.
Yeah, at the mall. Yeah. I was like, meet me at the mall. I'll be there. I walked over there to sell him a t-shirt.
Oh, shit.
Good old times. It was crazy.
That was a cool ass shirt, by the way.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate it.
If it still fit, I'd wear it still.
I haven't been making anything recently, but
Okay.
I might get back into it. It was a fun little project to have on the side.
Yeah.
But creatively wise, what's your avenue of creation? What are you
What's my
most into?
avenue of creation? I like the way you asked that question. Comedy, man. That's what I love the most.
Hell yeah.
Yeah, I've been working on. I really want to get on stage here soon. That's like my biggest. I've been on stage before, so like I don't know why I'm so like, oh fuck, like.
Yeah, I totally get that.
Yeah.
There was this one open mic I went to, and I didn't really realize that it was a comedy open mic.
Mm-hmm.
And I went to go play music there.
Oh shit.
And so I was just playing a set in the middle of just
Fuck
everybody's
yeah.
comedy set, just, and my guitar just fucking.
Well, dude, were people like expecting you to like start like a parody song at some point? Like they're like, "Oh, dude, this guy's got a guitar, dude. This is gonna be fucking hilarious."
They thought I was like some what's his name, Dimitri Johnson or something.
Yeah.
Like that. He does musical comedy. But I'm just sitting up there. I was sitting there like 5 minutes before I was going up, and I was like, I could put together a quick little 3 minutes and get off stage.
There you go.
And I was like, no, I'll just sing my little songs and go home.
And go.
For half a second, I really tempted myself at becoming a stand-up, but
Yeah.
comedy has always been one of those things that I love, man.
Yeah, dude, I would encourage anyone. I would encourage anyone and everyone to do it. I mean, it is frightening, and I mean, not you specifically, but like anyone, you're probably gonna bomb at some point. Like,
Oh yeah, for sure.
And-
I must say, even musically, I've had
right,
a handful of performances where I was like, that was absolutely terrible.
right. But I would encourage. I mean, stand up specific. I mean, they are all unique in their own way, but like, I don't know. It's a very interesting thing, and I feel like the more I listen to people talk about it, the more it's like, oh yeah, like a lot of people don't even know that like that could be for them. But then
Mhm.
like you get up on a stage and start talking, and all of a sudden, like, oh shit, like this is the coolest thing I've ever fucking done. Like,
I would say I always love in stand-up also just the like the variety of stand-up acts that there are. Like, you got your observational, you got your
Right.
quick witty puns. There's a little bit of something there for everybody.
oh yeah, I always struggle. I mean, my bit, like, I'm sure it's like every person who's into comedy, but it's like, what? Because like
Will you
there's
pick the mic up just a little,
Yeah.
like talking to the front of it.
like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because it's like, what's funny,
Right.
So
it's so subjective.
right, and so I don't know. There's times where I'm like, dude, this bit is gonna. I think I spent like an hour on an Epstein bit today, and I'm like, dude, like this shit is fucking killer. And then like an hour later, I was like, this is so stupid. Like, I can't say this. Like, so there's a lot of back and forth, but it's a ton of fun. I don't know, and doing my podcast for a while was a good way to like stay in the sphere, of keeping that creative mind going, I guess.
Right. I'm gonna say I love doing this podcast just because every week Theo gives me a movie to watch, and
Right.
if he didn't give me a movie to watch, I probably wouldn't have watched a movie in the past 4 months,
Oh yeah.
But like every week I have something to watch, and every week I have to consciously like pick an album that I'm like, why do I like this album? Sit
Yeah.
down and actually kind of like articulate what you like about the art form and what you don't like. It kind
Yeah.
of helps you within your own, making of other stuff, figuring out what you actually, enjoy within whatever medium you use.
Oh yeah. No, I I appreciated the album of the week being a comedy album. Oh man.
Yeah.
Because that's what, like, you sent it to me, and I was like, Brian Regan live. Like, was like,
Yes, sir.
album of the week. And I was like, okay, fuck yeah, dude.
I must say, I heard you were into comedy. I must say, I hadn't really talked to you too much about it,
Yeah.
so I just chose a little comedy album.
No, it was sick. I loved it. So
Let's hop on into it. Let's talk about it.
All right.
The album of the week is Brian Regan live, as he said. And so I chose Brian Regan, because he was like one of the first comics that I ever found as like a kid on YouTube,
Okay.
I found this like really shitty video that was done in like Microsoft Paint, and it was like animated to the stupid in school bit where he's like, Brian, what's the plural form of a box? A box, and
Yeah.
I bought 2 boxing of donuts.
Oh man, that spelling bee bit was awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
There's a kid that knew he wasn't gonna win, so he got out on purpose. Spell cat, K-A-T. I'm out of here.
Yeah. Peace out, bitches.
I know it had 2
man.
T's.
Yeah.
I knew it had 2 T's.
Bro, Brian Regan. He's so fucking funny, and what I love about him, he's a clean comic.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't curse, he doesn't talk about like profane shit, but he is one of the funniest dudes that I, it might just be because he was like one of the first like funny people that I saw, but every time somebody's like, I need something new to watch, I'm like, well, go back in time and watch this fucking performance because it's so fucking funny.
Well, that's crazy, like, how even, like, the older stuff will be, like, some of the funniest
Oh, yeah.
shit around. I mean, I just watched Monty Python. I think I was talking to you about this at the
we were
last
talking about it the
game
other day.
night. And, dude, Monty Python, oh my God. I mean, I had tears going down my face at multiple points in that movie.
If you haven't seen The Holy Grail, you got to watch Monty Python and The Holy Grail.
Yeah, I gotta be careful. I'll start quoting the whole movie, but
Oh, it's so good.
yeah, but no, that album of the week was sick, and yeah, all those bits had me cracking the fuck up.
I'm about to say, I listened to the one, and then Spotify just started recommending all sorts of comedy albums and shit. I spent the last 2 days listening to Mitch Hedberg.
Hell yeah,
Just the dumbest shit.
Yeah.
Just if you know Mitch Hedberg, then you know his style of comedy, but it's just very like quick, witty, little dumb, like observational puns almost. I don't know.
yeah,
It's like weird to categorize him, but he's fucking hilarious.
yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing about some of the great comedy people is that sometimes it's hard to. They're just their own,
Right.
Style.
Like Richard Pryor, like he was just Richard Pryor.
He's just Richard
like,
Pryor. Yeah,
right. He was like the baseline that everybody else took from it. Feels like
yeah.
like those early guys, like Carlin and what's his nuts? I forget his name. But like the older guys
Yeah.
in the comedy,
No, they're all They're all great. Sometimes it's hard to watch. Some older stuff doesn't age too well, but
Yeah, a lot of the topical comedy of the 80s and 90s is a little questionable these days.
but some of it lands. Some of it lands.
You gotta take comedy with a grain of salt. Like it's one of those art forms that like you can be truthful, but you gotta kind of beat around the bush.
Yeah.
In a way, you know.
Yeah, man. It's fried, and yeah, I don't know. I just.
What did you think of the album of the week, T?
I've heard of Bro, but I haven't really ever listened to him other than the album. So I mean, I like that spelling bee one.
It is a pretty good bit.
But yeah,
I'm about to say that's like in the middle of the performance. I'm gonna look it up real quick, see if I can.
There were a lot of bits in there because I feel like, so I listened to it while I was at work, and I want to say it was like just under an hour, like 55 minutes maybe.
Yeah.
And
it's 24 different tracks, so it's a lot of like quick, like,
right,
little bits.
So I was just, I don't know, it was like one of those things. I was like, damn, like that's wild. I mean, I don't know. That's just something that's so crazy to me about comedy is your bit can be as short as 15 seconds. Like,
right. Or you could be like a storytelling comic.
Right.
Just have like 3 sections of your show. It's just like, I must say it's one of those art forms that it's almost in every art form, but there's such variety within what they do. It's kind of crazy that it's all categorized as one thing,
Yeah.
Like Carrot Top is a comedian the same way as, Joe Rogan is a comedian. Like,
yeah.
2 very completely different acts, but they're both comedians.
Right. Did you see Cat Williams throw some shade at Joe Rogan?
No, what happened? What happened there?
Oh, it was so funny, dude. Cat Williams was on Shannon Sharp's show, and he said, Joe Rogan's got 6 comedians on there that ain't even ever been funny. Yeah, he never had me on. He's like, he don't want me there.
You see that one Cat Williams thing? He was on some radio show, and this chick just said something slick to him, and he was like, boo. Only one of us got $14 worth of jewelry on right now.
Dude, I see that clip.
He just fucking digs into this chick. She said one thing, and he was like, boom, 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 just flaming her ass.
My girlfriend and I fucking went on like a 30-minute Cat Williams like deep dive the other day because
bro, Cat Williams is so fucking hilarious. The fucking Pimp Chronicles, dog. Oh my god.
Poor little Tay-Tay.
Poor little Tay. You telling me motherfucker with no legs got disqualified from a foot race? Poor little Tink Tink.
Oh man, you guys ever seen Norbit?
Oh, it's been forever.
He plays one of the pimps in Norbit. Oh, so funny.
I don't even remember what Norbit was about.
Dude, Eddie Murphy plays 2 characters. He plays like his wife and himself.
Okay.
And so, not Eddie Murphy, but like Norbit is like a real scrawny, like nerdy guy, and what's her name? Respucia is like huge, like 300 pounds, like bullies him, and yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna say I see the.
Did you IMDb it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about to say that was 2007. Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
That was forever ago. We're old as hell, damn near.
I know.
I think about that every day. I'm like, Jesus Christ, it's really 2024, man.
You ever like watch college sports and then they're like the kids playing are younger than you? You're like, shit. Yeah, you're like, damn. Like there was a point in time where it was like, if I just like get my shit together a little,
right?
Maybe.
I'm only about a summer's away, just pumping iron. I could be out there.
I'm a summer of salads and protein shakes away from being in the big leagues.
I'd be watching the UFC. Nowadays, I'm just like, I have no idea who any of these people are, man.
Dude,
Just feels so old.
that's how WWE was for me. And I mean, even sports stuff, like, I've never been a big sports person, but I don't know. I always like kept up with it or whatever. I mean, fantasy football helped this year, I'll admit. But yeah, like, I don't know. Sports people, WWE, oh my God, I love that shit.
Oh, yeah. I'm going to say, I got into the WWE pretty recently.
Yeah.
Been watching it for like the past 4 or 5 months.
Yeah.
It's so much fun.
I,
Just a couple beers and throw on SmackDown, dog.
Yeah.
You at the end just, let's go, Rey Mysterio. Let's 619.
Dude,
Oh,
the
shit.
fact his son's in the WWE
yeah,
now.
Dominic.
God, that shit makes me feel fucking old as hell. I'm like, oh my God, Rey Mysterio's in the league and his kid's in the league. Like,
Right.
oh my God.
The Rock's I think The Rock's niece is in the WWE now.
What?
She's like in the NXT. So like the
Like Marlboro? Marlboro? Marlboro?
I don't remember what her name is, but
I'm about to say, like, the Rock's whole family's in the fucking WWE now.
Are they actually?
yeah.
Yeah, him and the Usos are related, and
Who are
him
the
and
Usos?
Jimmy and Jay Uso.
Oh, no,
They're a
funny.
tag team,
Okay.
or they were. They're split up now.
Ah.
And
Roman Reigns.
Roman Reigns.
Oh.
He's the champion right now. He's related to The Rock.
I think Roman Reigns is about to be in a Marvel movie. No, it could be a different one. Shoot. He's got another, like, flashy name. Like, I guess they all have flashy fucking names. But
Right.
Roman Reigns or someone, some WWE guy, I think, is set to be in a Marvel movie. Yeah.
I'm going to give it a Google real quick.
I can't remember who it is.
What's the comedian's name that does the Latin history for morons?
Oh, Jesus. You got to hit me with a fucking hard question. I don't know.
That's not the drunk history guy, is it?
I don't think so.
John
John Leguizamo. Ligmanuts. I don't know.
Not quite.
Oh, fucking.
I can't say his name.
He was in the OG Super Mario
Zombies.
Bros. And he's been in. I don't know why that was the first movie of his that came to mind, but I'm pretty sure he was in The Menu recently. I guess that was about a year ago.
This
Yeah,
guy.
he was. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that guy.
The Menu is super fucking good.
Yeah.
Have you seen The Menu, T?
Yeah.
Oh, it's just, bro.
Yeah, it's fire.
Fire.
But his comedy, his stand-up special about the Latin history for morons was really funny.
It was pretty fun. I mean, you showed it to me like
His stand-up special?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know he had a
Yeah,
stand-up special.
it's like partially in Spanish, partially in English. Like,
Okay.
Let's watch it right now.
no, I'm not joking. Have you seen Ari Shafir's newest special?
Jew?
Yeah,
No.
it's it's kind of like that, but for Latin, like the Latin history of Latin people, I guess. But anyways, yeah, John Leguizamo, however
John
the fuck he's,
Legumi.
whatever the fuck his name is. He is pretty funny. I hadn't really heard about him before you showed him to me. That was a while ago.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of movies, how did you guys wind up on picking Maestro for the movie?
That's a T question right there.
How
How'd you
did-
end up picking Maestro?
So it came to Netflix and it said it was new, and I was like, oh,
Fuck it.
might as well watch it. So,
Okay, I was wondering if, like, because so are we? Can we talk about the movie? I don't know.
Yeah,
Are we?
go
Okay.
for it. Go for it.
I
Spoiler alert.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, I'm not good at, like, keeping a train of thought.
No, you're good.
So,
Just go with what you was gonna say.
So
It's
yeah,
all good.
possible spoiler alert, but yeah, I was watching it and I took a little smoke break with Michael, and I was like telling him about telling him about the movie, and he was like, "How the fuck did you guys wind up picking that movie?" And I was like, "That's a great question." Like, so you'd never seen it before? Or?
No, it just popped up on Netflix and said it was new, and I was like, okay, might as well watch it.
I must say, it was a 2023 release.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty new. Yeah, what'd you guys
based on
think
true
of it?
stories.
Yeah,
what did you think of Maestro? What'd you think of Bradley Cooper's performance?
I thought it was slow at some parts, and I mean, if I had to give it a 5-star rating, I'd probably do like a 3.5, 4. Not really.
I think 4 is kind of generous. I feel like
I'd say 4 is generous.
It's not really like my thing, but I can see where people
It seems
like about it.
It seems like a very niche topic. I wrote a Letterboxd review. I don't know if you guys are Letterboxd fans.
I have Letterboxd,
but
I'm gonna say Theo does.
I have a review on it too.
I'll give you my Letterboxd here. Maestro. This one took me for a ride. Not sure how I felt about the first half, but the second half I found myself super emotionally invested. Good watch, if not a bit long. 3.5 stars.
I'm gonna say I'd say that's a pretty accurate review of the movie.
Because
it was.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Because I'm with you. I felt it was slow. The first half felt slow, and I was like, okay, it's like the 40s, and it starts off, and he's like immediately endued with a bed. He's in a dude with the bed. No, he's in bed with a dude, and I'm like, okay, so like, you know, this is probably a big secret, right? It's probably gonna be his like,
right,
his weight, right? Like that's his burden. Is he's a closeted gay man. Well,
I'm gonna go grab my notes real quick. Okay. Continue with your thoughts on the movie.
Yeah, and so I'm like, okay, like this is gonna be his thing. And then at one point, he like goes up to his friends, the guy that he was sleeping with at one point, and I guess his wife, and he's like, "Oh, you know what's funny?" He's like talking to the baby. He's like, "I slept with both your parents."
Yeah, I saw that.
And I'm like, "Oh, okay. So like, it's not a secret then. Like we're all like, it's cool."
So,
like,
I think, as I said, it is slow at some parts, and at other parts it felt too quick. Like at the beginning, I liked how they showed the transitions between different areas, like when he was with his wife's family at dinner, and then they ran to
that transition was really fucking cool. I actually wrote it down.
Okay.
And then they ran to the theater, and
oh, hold on, T. I think you unplugged your mic. Of course, it wouldn't be the two-tone podcast without some audio difficulties. Give me just a second. Let me assess the situation here. Give me a little bit of audio.
Hello.
Awesome, you're back.
Wait.
All right.
What was he gonna say? Sorry.
So I did like that about it, how they did those transitions, but it did feel very slow at some points, and then very quick at others. Like, just throughout it was very.
Yeah, I'm about to say that was one of my complaints about like the beginning of it. Like it felt like it was just so fucking slow for the first like 15 minutes, and then it went into the scene you were talking about at dinner. You know, it was just like boom, boom, boom. We're here. We're doing this. We have a baby. What the fuck?
Right, like we're setting it up, and then he gets his big break, and then all of a sudden he's having a conversation about what to do because he's on the road to being the greatest American composer ever.
Right.
I also kind of found it interesting. Like, this has nothing to do with how they showed the story, but how they talked, or how they made it seem like it was bad back in the 1950s to be a gay person, and so he had to like change his whole lifestyle into like hiding it and not letting like the world actually know who he is. But with his family, he kept it very open and honest, and
that's why I was so confused.
Like, just very confusing.
Like that's what I mean. Like the first hour, and like again, if it's based on Leonard Bernstein, his life story, presumably.
Right.
And so I'm like, part of me is like, if this was, if this is the way his life happened, then like I get it. But like I found myself like for the first hour like getting genuinely pissed at the characters because I'm like, you're gay, just be gay. Like quit being with this woman. Like
Right, wasting everybody's time.
right. And I'm like, you even got friends who know you're gay. And like, no, you know what I mean? Like you're not, I don't know. It was like, because that's what I mean. Like when the movie first started, I'm like, oh, being gay is going to be the whole crux of the movie of where like, because he has to hide that from everyone.
Right.
But then like he's not hiding it. And so I'm like, wait, what the shit? And then, yeah, like, I don't know. He was just like kind of a piece of shit to his wife because, he's like cheating on her all the time. And she's like, oh, just be discreet. And I'm like, no, just break it off. You're a famous actress. It's not even like you're, because, like at the time, it's like, if a woman was depending on the man, then like, yeah, it would make sense to why maybe you don't want to leave because,
right.
Yeah. So, but I'm like, you're a famous actress. Like,
And weren't the kids not even his?
No, the kids, his kids were his. He had them with his wife. It's just that they like
he didn't love him.
So there's this whole thing where he like didn't want his kids to know that he was gay, so he like hid it from them. And then like when they show that one of his daughters like came back from his like hometown that he grew up in, and they were like spreading rumors about how he was like gay and shit, and she was like, "Is it true?" And he's like, "No."
That was so
right.
But his wife and him had like a whole
doctor.
Oh, bro, one of the things I wrote down about this movie, everybody was constantly just fucking ripping darts,
chain
dog.
smoking.
The way I watched this movie, and I was like, God damn, I might smoke a pack of cigarettes while watching this movie.
But I mean, think about it. Back then, it was like normal for everybody to be smoking. So,
but that's what I mean. Like, I think literally every scene, Bradley Cooper had a cigarette in his mouth.
Probably.
I wonder how many fake cigarettes he smoked during the production.
I'm sure, and I mean, you got to think about what hit the cutting room floor too. I mean,
right?
Because that movie was about 2:10, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
And yeah, he had a cig in his mouth the whole goddamn time.
From the beginning, he said,
they were like, he has a cig.
I love you, dog.
We're just going to keep it the whole film.
And no, like literally from the start. So like, I mean, it starts off and he's old and he's got a cigarette. And then it cuts back to him being young. He picks up the phone. Oh, hang on. Yeah.
What'd you say now?
Yeah. Okay, darling, I'm here. And I mean, he was so obviously gay. I'm just like, dude, just be gay. Oh my God. Like,
one thing about it though, I feel like Bradley Cooper did a really good job of like embodying Leonard Bernstein. Like I feel like he was really, really good as him.
I agree, and that's what like again like the first half I'm like fucking pissed. What was it? I think it was right around. It was an hour in. I just like.
Was it at the Thanksgiving parade party?
Yes. And it was right before that where she put his shit outside the door. Like right then I was like, okay, here we go. Like here we go. And like they started yelling at each other, and like from that point on, because I'm not gonna lie, I cried at a certain point in the movie because I was like, oh shit, like I don't know. The whole like I don't know, love stories, like the whole like if love endures, like for some reason that just hits really hard. Like oh man, like he was a piece of shit, and like for whatever reason she didn't like he still got her. Like, do you remember?
I feel like she knew that he was a piece of shit from the beginning. Like, yeah, she knew that he was gonna be selfish and like all about himself. But like something about that in him enticed her. Like,
yeah, I hate that they didn't show the struggle of her passing away.
Yeah, like that was like one of the really big parts in the beginning where like, spoiler alert, it starts out and he's like, yeah, I miss her.
I miss her all the time.
I miss her often. I miss her laying there in bed. And, I thought it was going to be like this, like hard time of him, like coming to realizations of like who he is and like losing the only person that like didn't, just like obviously not give a fuck about him,
Right.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
it was kind of just like brushed over at the end, like, she ended up dying and
Yeah.
it wasn't even really touched at the end.
It got it got fried. Like, you remember he's really old, and he's like doing coke in the club with
Right. With like some
with this
25-year-old kid.
Yeah, and I'm just like, God damn, man, like, what are you doing, bro? Like, and he does call his wife, but he's off coke. I'm just like, ugh. I mean, and again, like, it's just him being a piece of shit. It's not necessarily, I don't know. Not a bad movie necessarily. It just like, it was whack.
Yeah, for sure. His personality was whack at many points in the movie. One of the things that I wrote down about the movie was like the difference between him conducting and him like off the stage is just so fucking night and day. Like when he's on stage, you can see like an authentic joy like within him, but like when he's off stage, he's ripping darts and fucking doing cocaine and fucking just being high as hell all the time. Like
Yeah, he was wild.
just very what's the word I'm looking for? Narcissistic.
But if you think about it, that's kind of what being an artist kind of is, because you get so much joy out of doing your craft. When you're not doing your craft, is very like monotonous, and you're like, the fuck is this type shit.
It's hard. I would say it's hard, especially to not be selfish if you have and selfish, especially in the sense of time.
Yeah.
Like, especially if you're trying to have a family, like, sorry, excuse me. But like at one point in the movie, they're like on a television program, and it's like, oh yeah, he's a famous composer and she's an actress, and they're busy all the time, and it's like, yeah, like you don't. Oh fuck. Sorry, you got like a water or something? God
Yeah,
damn.
I'll get you one real quick.
My throat is. Oh man. I'm choking over here. Fuck. Yeah, dude, I was trying to push through, and I was like, oh my god. Thank you. Yeah, I need a pause. Or I need not a pause.
But yeah, I feel like being an artist is very mentally straining, because like you want to have relationships with people, but then you also want to work on your craft, and those two things can't happen at the same time. Like,
I understand what you're saying.
It's
Like
just
it's one of those things like when you're first starting out, like you gotta either throw 100% of everything straight at it, or you just gotta, like, there's two avenues you can take. You got your throw everything at it. Like if in my position, I just be going out every night to open mics and shit and fucking booking shows and trying to make a living off of that. Or you can take the route that's more commonly took, in my opinion. You're working a full-time job and then kind of working out on it on the side as like a passion project. It's one of those things you gotta find out what works for you.
But then I feel like people that take the path of working a full-time job and then having it as their passion on the side, once they get enough following to do it as a full-time career, that's what their mind is set to, as like to not get in the way of trying to make what you want to make type stuff. So I mean, there's pros and cons to both.
Very true.
Like,
I mean, like you gotta fucking, what am I trying to say here?
you also have to like keep up with the times and be able to change on a dime and know exactly how to make people feel the way you want them to feel type shit, and it's just
You gotta
Very
be
true.
committed.
yeah.
Very
Committed.
true. Like the way I look at my music is like my music is about like, you know, everyday struggles, like societal shit. Like I feel like me working and being like in the community and in, you know, society and shit, it almost helps write more meaningful songs, you know, like the monotony of life when you're like experiencing it firsthand, it's easier to put it into like a raw feeling that's, you know, more you know, easier for the public to feel as well, you know. Instead of, you know, if I was just out here every day playing shows and shit, like I wouldn't have as much cultural knowledge of what's
Okay.
going on, you know.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. It's a tough one. I mean, I just feel like no matter what you do, whether it's being on stage every day or what else, I mean, like you have to live, and whether
Right,
that's
yeah.
hanging out with friends or making your money, like you have to, you have to have a life. But no matter what you do, like I feel like if you're pursuing, I mean, it's not even like an art craft, whatever it is that you want to do, like it has to be the revolving figure of your life. Your
Mhm.
life has to revolve around that. And you can have other things in that orbit. You know, you can have friends, you can have hobbies, you can, you know what I mean, like going out and having your experiences. I agree. I think without experiences, without things that make us all human, your art can't connect to people.
Right.
Think of it as a one of those sticky hands. You throw a sticky hand out,
Right.
and after a while, it'll snap back to you.
Yeah.
That's how you gotta look at your art.
And
You're the hand, and your art is what's throwing you,
yeah,
and then you
Oh.
come back
I like that.
with new ideas.
TT out here with some big brain metaphors.
But yeah, I just feel like no matter what it is you want the most, your life has to revolve around that.
For sure.
But then
It's all a balancing act, you know.
Yeah.
You gotta as you were saying, you know, you gotta live your life. You gotta fucking hang out with your friends and fucking, you know, go out to the bars and fucking
Right.
do all the mundane shit, you know, like doing laundry and doing the dishes, you know, like even in comedy, like especially all of the stupid little mundane shit, you know, you
Yeah.
could make a whole bit out of it.
Right.
Not wanting to do the dishes. Jesus Christ, that was
Yeah.
a lot of D's.
and then you
Fuck myself up.
and then you got like yes, that's a thing, but then there's also like things that you have to get rid of to be able to follow your passion.
I agree. I think
Like-
the flip side of that is sacrifice.
Yeah, sacrificing. Like you could be like best friends with somebody one year, and then the next you're like don't even talk to them type shit, and it's just like you need to learn how to balance your sacrifices with what you want to do.
Yeah.
Very true.
Well, I mean, it's almost like the same. I mean, I feel like you can almost compare it to like having a girlfriend almost or a significant other. Like, you know, you got your friends, you have a whole schedule or a whole reality that you've built for yourself. And once you start sharing your reality with someone else, your life and your patterns and your habits typically change. The people that you had, you know, 9 hours a week for, you now have 30 minutes a week for,
Right.
you know, and some people don't take kindly to that. And I
Very
mean,
true.
sometimes understandably so. I mean, but same with a passion though. I mean, you know, you got to spend however long recording a podcast, right? I mean,
Right.
there might, you know, you might be missing something right now.
Yeah.
But if this is where you're most happy to
Right.
be, then you know, if whoever you're around in your orbit doesn't want to be around that, then sorry. Like,
Right. I can't tell you how many times like me and Sam have just been sitting on the couch, just, you know, hanging out, having a good time, and then I'm like, I'm gonna go work on music, and then they're like, you know, go do it, you know,
Right.
we're just chilling here.
But
But
then you
you-
have those days that you don't want to do anything, but you have to push through it type shit.
I mean, I feel
I
like
know those all too
Bro.
well, man.
I feel like those days are also beneficial though. You know, you gotta, as we've been talking about, you gotta take time off to, live in reality. I feel like, especially with, writing a script like we've been doing, or writing a song like we've been doing, it's one of those things that if you put too much time into it, you'll end up just sinking the whole thing because you're like, I don't even fucking like this anymore.
I don't even know what I'm writing anymore.
Yeah, it just becomes to a point where you're like, 9 times out of 10, if you get to that point, it's already been done for like half an hour. Like, you're just going back being meticulous over little tiny shit that nobody will ever know the difference of,
Yeah.
I need to stop thinking that way because I'll be like working on like the script, and then it'll be a day that I come home from work and I'm like, I just really want to like not do this, but I know I need to type shit, and I'm like, do I do it or do I not? And I just play video games and go to sleep.
I'm about to say, whenever I have a moment like that, I, in the studio where we're filming, I got my music shit behind me, and I usually have the PlayStation like in between right here, so it's PlayStation, facing the other way. But I'll come in here, sit on the couch, and be like, it'd be so easy to just press that one button and the PlayStation's on, instead of opening up the laptop, going on to the editing shit, or turning around and figuring out a melody. Like, it's one of those things that like the fun shit is significantly easier to do in the moment, but as we've been talking about, it's a balancing act between fucking dedicating your time to what you really want it, the end goal to be.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I don't know about you guys, but I mean, I always go back and forth on like, it's too late, I missed the bus, and versus like, it's never too late. Like,
oh yeah, I'm about to say, I have a couple of songs from like when the pandemic started, and I'm like, I could release these and people would understand them, but like, it's so far in the fucking zeitgeist, like it's not even relevant anymore.
Right. That's how I feel about like pandemic jokes sometimes. It's like, oh man, like that'd be a good pandemic joke concept, but it's like
we're
it's
on
2024.
Right,
like,
we're on
fuck.
fucking.
Like, can that really land, or are people just gonna start throwing tomatoes? Like,
I mean, I feel that way a lot of the time because there's like, Jalen says it all the time. Everything has been done in filmmaking, so whatever you do, it's literally been done, or has been close to being done, but you're just like a hair off of
some sort of slight derivation or whatever.
And so it's like, what can I make that's new, but also something that I like,
and good.
Yeah.
Give me just a second. Sam's calling me. Y'all talks betwixt yourself if you don't mind.
I was gonna say, I mean, you could just shit on the camera, but I mean, that's even been done before. So, like, dude, I mean, if we're including all films, I mean
people always be telling me to direct porn films, and I'm like, no, that's not happening.
Get your first feature film debut.
It's just a porno.
Oh God!
Yeah,
the X-rated film. Oh, that would be fucking hilarious.
It's just another fucking 50 Shades of Grey type shit.
What did I miss? What are y'all talking about over here?
He said something about shitting on a camera, and he said that's already been done before, and I said, so many people have told me to direct pornos, and I'm like, no, why? And then
like your first feature film debut is an X-rated film. Man!
And I said it's just gonna be another 50 Shades of Grey.
Good Lord, y'all are fried. All right, we're gonna hop into TT's talks, and then we'll let y'all.
Have we done
back
the thing?
Have we done the thing? What thing?
The intro.
Oh fuck, we're like 40 minutes into this bitch. Let's hit the intro. Let's get into it. All right, y'all got the gist. Hold up. Hit subscribe, hey. Hit subscribe, boy, your grandma gonna die, hey. All right, disclaimer at the Two Tone Podcast, we don't wish any ill will on anybody's grandma. All right, into Titi's talks, and then we'll let y'all get back onto your day. Give me a second, and I will.
Wait, I got it.
I'm sorry if
Where's the
that's
remote?
loud as hell in your ears. Give me just a second.
That is hilarious that you say you wish no harm on the grandmas, because I used to be known as the grandma killer. Dude, I went on a streak of 3 different women I talked to. I like tried to go on dates with, like 3 in a row. The excuse of their grandma dying, and like having to deal with that. And I was like, you cannot. Like the first one, it's like, oh man, I'm so sorry. Like, let me know if I can do anything. And the second one, it's like, I'm sorry, that really sucks. And the third one, it's like, man, are you just all this
All right,
unoriginal, or
What kind of group chat are y'all in where y'all are just punking my ass at this point? That's fucking hilarious. All right.
yeah, right. Like they all know. Dude.
All right. I don't know if you've seen the podcast before, but we have a section where we go through the TikToks that Theo sent me throughout the week. So here's the first one up for you. It's always just the most fried shit, just the most random fried fucking shit.
After I froed up,
It's
that's
so
awesome.
good. All right, give me just a second. Let me pull up the second one.
That is me.
That's me. I'm about to say I have a whole concert before I even get in the shower.
Oh man, that's awesome.
This one had me dead. This fool. This fool at the end. The little text right here.
Oh my god. The internet, the best, worst thing that ever happened.
Oh, Jalen, you need to tell him about how many I sent you that one time.
Oh my god. So, bro literally sent me 35 TikToks within a week. So we're still on the back catalog of TikToks that he sent me. I think we have like 7 more for next week that he sent me like 4 weeks ago.
Oh.
These tacos got me feeling gay as fuck.
Isaiah, I told you not to be gay as a person anymore. That's not how it's used.
My bad, y'all. These tacos got me feeling bisexual as fuck. How am I supposed to say if I like tacos?
Big Tyler the Creator vibes. Big Tyler the Creator energy.
Lightning.
I'm gonna say Theo sends me TikToks that remind him of my cat all the time. He said one of these days I will bite that fucking food, I swear to God. Oh, it's too good. Too good. Alright, we got 2 more.
This is what it looks like with Jalen skateboards.
This is actually AI footage of me skating. And just into it. I was when I first saw it, I was half expecting him to roll down and just eat shit.
Was that Tony Hawk?
That was a ×8 multiplier. That was like 300,000 points, I think.
Don't pee your pants, don't do it. Hey, don't pee your pants, don't do it. Hey, don't pee your pants, do the dance. Don't pee your pants, do the pee-pee dance. Do the pee-pee dance, so you don't pee your pants. Pee-pee dance, so you don't pee your pants. I don't
The
wanna
dance
pee
moves
in my
are just
pants,
good.
so do a little
Dude, I
dance.
thought that was someone we went to high school with at first, and I was like, oh no!
Yeah, I got a whole TikTok career.
Oh,
That would be hilarious, actually.
it's just like,
All right, Jesus. That was too good.
oh man.
All right. I want to say thank you one more time for watching the Two Tone Podcast. My name is Jalen Kale. Unfuckswittable, the deluxe edition, now available on all streaming platforms. Linktree.com/JAK Productions for all my hoo-ha. Appreciate y'all. TT, hit him with your little spiel.
Name's Theo Kale. You can find
Probably should
Why?
have done this at the beginning, eh? Anyways, continue. Sorry.
I make films, and you can find them at Glasshouse Films 8 on YouTube. And if you would like to get in contact with me about any future plans on helping me in any way, you can contact me at Glasshouse Films 8 on Instagram. And I believe you go to my Instagram, you can find my link tree to other stuff.
I'll put it in the description below. Linktree.com/glasshousefilms, right? Question mark?
I believe so.
Something like that. All right. I'll put it in the description below. Mason, where can the people find you at?
People can find me everywhere, almost everywhere. Mason Foxlow. Just search my name. You'll find it. Or you can find our podcast, which hopefully will be up sometime soon. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I forgot to mention you got a podcast as well.
We do. We're on a bit of a pause, real life. Steven is in paramedic school right now.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah. So once he graduates and gets his schedule under control, he said he wants to get back up and going, and even if he doesn't, I think I'd like to fire it back up. So
hell yeah, I enjoyed listening to it.
Thanks.
The Midwest Crisis, right?
Yep, the Midwest Crisis. You can find us on Twitter at DA Midwest Crisis, and then or just Mason Foxlow on just about everything. You'll find me.
Hell yeah, I'll put your stuff in the description as well.
Right on, man.
I just want to say thank you one more time for having Mason on the podcast. I appreciate you for coming out.
Of course, man. Thanks for having me.
You got any parting words for the people?
Oh, be good. Just be good. Be nice. Or don't. I don't care. But, makes the world a little bit better if you're nice. So
Couldn't have said it better myself. All right. Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you. Have a great day, night, whatever time you're watching it. Share it with your brother, your mother, your sister, your cousin, your goldfish's brother, and their aunt too. Have a blessed day. This has been the Two Tone Podcast. No grandmothers were hurt in the recording of this podcast. Thank you. If you don't have to subscribe at this point, I mean, what else do I gotta do? What else do I gotta do? Hello, you're on the podcast. Say something.
What do you do?
Tell them to subscribe.
Subscribe. Sponsored message. Subscribe.
sponsored message.